Hello, Namaskar, Vanakkam. The geography paper of ICSE Class 10 in 2023 will be very different from the geography papers that we have seen in the past. So what you need to understand first and foremost is the question paper. So please go to the CISE website, look at this specimen paper that has been posted. Now, how does the question paper look like now? Now, we will deal with it in 4 parts. पहला टोपो शीट जो कि अब 10 मार्क का है. It's for 10 marks now as opposed to earlier when it used to be for 20 marks. Map marking remains for 10 marks. MCQs have now been introduced for 10 marks and the subjective part remains for 50 marks. But the big change as far as students are concerned is that earlier students used to focus only on 5 or max 6 chapters, right? They used to leave out 3 to 4 chapters out of the 9 chapters because they had to attempt only 5 sets of questions, one set from each chapter, right? So they would have to answer only 5. So the risk-taking students would leave out entire 4 chapters. Some students would keep 2 chapters as buffer and do about at least 6 or even 7 and leave out 2 chapters. Okay, so that used to be the pattern more or less as far as geography was concerned. But now this year with MCQs introduced, where one question will necessarily be asked if the specimen paper is anything to go by, one question will necessarily be asked from every chapter, from each chapter. That means that if you leave out few chapters, you run the risk of losing out on those marks as far as the MCQs are concerned. So अगर आप ऐसे स्टूडेंट हैं जो कि 80 आउट ऑफ 80 चाहते हैं, जो कि ज्योग्राफी में बिल्कुल पॉसिबल है, तो ऑब्वियसली आप रिस्क नहीं ले सकते, आपको सभी 9 चैप्टर्स पढ़ने पड़ेंगे. ओके, ये तो हो गई मोटी मोटी बात. Before I start, I also want to talk to you about our SWS geography course, which is unique and different from the other courses that we have on the SWS app, in the sense that there are 2 educators who are involved in teaching geography on this particular course, Rameshwer sir and I. Okay, so we have the twin educator advantage as far as the geography course is concerned. Probably that's one reason why many more students enroll into our geography course than any other course. So let's start with the MCQs. Okay, MCQs में मैं एक ही बात बोलूँगा. You need to be smart. Smart study की ज़रूरत है, which means in every chapter mark out the factual details, because MCQs में geography में आपसे factual details पर ही प्रश्न पूछे जाएंगे. Okay, location, smallest, largest, greatest, not greatest, largest, smallest, biggest. Okay, those kind of questions will be asked. Okay, in fact we have chapter wise MCQ questions, I think 20 from each chapter on the SWS course. Okay, let's now move to the map marking. Last year I can tell you many students lost marks in map marking. Okay, because map marking में एक चीज की जरूरत होती है, and that is precision. Okay, you need to be precise with marking that particular place or area on the India map. Okay, so point number 1, remember the finer details. Okay, for example, no mountain to be marked intersecting a river. Okay, or that the western or the eastern Ghats, they must not in fact touch the coastline, or that the Mumbai high का जो offshore है, it should not be touching the coast. Okay, it is in the Arabian Sea, but इतना दूर भी नहीं लगाना बाबू. Okay, so you need to do it accordingly, according to the specifications which are stipulated. Okay, so as far as map marking is concerned, इसमें 2 बातें हैं. Get all your doubts solved. Get your fundas clear कि कौन सी चीज कहां पर है exactly. Okay, और इंडिया के मैप में जो जितना जहां पर भी इंडेंट हो रहा है उसके हिसाब से आप याद रख लो कि इसके ऊपर या इसके नीचे या इसके बाएं या इसके दाएं में ये चीज को मैंने मार्क करना है. दूसरी बात, practice as much as possible. In fact, I would say this is something which I used to do. Every 10 days practice the entire map syllabus, so that in a month you do it at least 3 times. Okay, so if you do between now and February, you are talking of at least what, 3 plus 3 plus 3, 9 till January, and maybe once more in February. So at least 10 times फुल सिलेबस ऑफ मैप मार्किंग जो भी इस बारे के सिलेबस में है, आप उसको पूरी तरह से प्रैक्टिस कीजिए. devote 1 hour, 1.5 hours, whatever doubts ho to पूछ लीजिए, check it, get it checked by someone, but that is something which you should do on a regular basis. In fact, I used to do this, and उन दिनों में 10 पैसे का मैप मिलता था from the shop. Nostalgia. We will do a more detailed video on map marking a little later. Now to the topo sheets. Now you have 5 broad questions with subparts. Okay, again इसमें symbols को समझने की जरूरत है. You need to understand the symbols. Again, like map marking, practice is a must so that you are well aware of the contours, the settlements, the drainage, the roads, the man-made and the natural features, and also how to take the 4-figure grid reference. So being taught by someone जिसको कि topo sheets की पूरी समझ है, that is very necessary. Don't depend on friends जो कि who may have half-baked knowledge. Okay, in fact on SWS, Rameshwer sir is taking care of the entire topography part, and he has done 10 videos only on topo sheets, 7 videos dealing with the theory part, and 3 videos of practical solving questions from a topo sheet. So you have both theory and the practical videos, and we will be doing live sessions for the SWS students a little later. Now let's come to the 50 marks, जो मोटा 50 मार्क का है. What you need to do here is to see कि कौन सा चैप्टर में ज़्यादा फोकस लगाना है. Reasoning questions from chapters like climate and soils. 2 दिन पहले, some student wrote to me saying, asking me whether I can leave out the climate chapter. See, I will never suggest you that इसको छोड़ो, इसको मत छोड़ो. Okay. I will tell you which is a good chapter to study, which you should study for sure. But I am the type who is aiming for an 80 on 80. I am not going to be satisfied with a 76 on 80. So I come from that school of thought. Numericals from the climate chapter, which will come for 3 marks. Here, ensure that you calculate properly. That's a must. Students in a hurry may miss out on doing the right calculation. Vegetation chapter, I can tell you, is tricky. Even I feel it's a little tricky chapter because बहुत कुछ याद रखने को होता है, and between the deciduous and the tropical evergreen, etc., you can get a little confused. Okay, so the trick to deal with the vegetation chapter is to make your own short notes. Okay, that is something which I would advise students to do, and you could kind of deal with it more for MCQs. That's entirely up to you. But ensure that you have a grip on the factual details. Short notes may, what you need to do is to make it in tabular form so that understanding and retaining it is much more easy than reading it. Even our SWS notes, we always say that once you have understood it, make your own short notes, and your short notes may not work for me. मैं शायद कुछ हिंदी में लिखूंगा, शायद कुछ तेलुगु में लिखूंगा, शायद कुछ तमिल में लिखूंगा, शायद कुछ मलयालम में लिखूंगा, शायद कुछ इंग्लिश में लिखूंगा. You may write it in Bengali, you may write it in Marathi. So everyone can have their own short codes, abbreviations, etc., mnemonics in order to retain it better. So make your own short notes in the form of a diagram, flow charts, arrows, tabular form, whatever. But that's the way to learn chapters like vegetation, natural vegetation, also agriculture, and to an extent even energy resources. These 3 chapters have a lot to remember. So in 3 chapters में खास तौर पे इस तरीके के you use this kind of methodology in order to be able to recall it better in the examination. Now, transport and waste management chapters are 2 chapters which you should not leave out. These are easy chapters, comparatively lesser to remember, but even if it is there, it's easy to understand. And it is about the world around us. Transport is about the world around us. Waste management is about the world around us. Geography in general is about the world around us, but more specifically, transport and waste management. Okay. Now, the mistake many students make is to do a lot of rote learn. मैं कहता हूं अगर आप इसको अपनी दुनिया से कोरिलेट करेंगे तो आपको रट्टा मारने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी, आपको रिटेन करने में ज्यादा आसानी होगी, बिकॉज देयर इज अ लॉट ऑफ साइंस टू जियोग्राफी. ओके, सो इफ यू कैन आस्क द रीजनिंग क्वेश्चंस, इट विल मेक योर जॉब ऑफ अंडरस्टैंडिंग and remembering that much easier. Another trick which Rameshwer sir said that he used as a student is to assimilate all stuff into a few diagrams, okay, and keep that on a separate page, ताकि एग्जाम के 1-2 दिन पहले आपको पूरा टेक्स्ट बुक ना पढ़ना पड़े, आप सिर्फ उन नोट्स को, उन डायग्राम्स, उन टेबल्स की मदद से आप पूरी तरह से उसको रिवाइज कर सकें उस चैप्टर को. द वे टू राइट द परफेक्ट आंसर, अगेन डोंट राइट अ मास ऑफ वर्ड्स. ओके, let's take the advantages of roadways or the disadvantages of railways or airways. आप वो पॉइंट लिखिए और दोनों पॉइंट्स, जितने भी पॉइंट है उसको 2 लाइनों में एक्सपैंड कर दीजिए, इंक्लूडिंग द कीवर्ड्स. That is very essential. That is the way you kind of deal with it, even with your mind. Keep it simple. If you keep it simple, इसमें ज़्यादा मुश्किल नहीं होगी. And उसके बाद deal with each chapter के MCQs and subjective type questions. Okay, in fact on SWS we have separate 9 MCQs papers for MCQ papers and 9 subjective papers. So 18 papers in all, dealing with both aspects of the way the question paper format. Also look at the question papers of the last 5 years. लेकिन इसमें ध्यान रहे कि आपके पास MCQ का सिर्फ लास्ट ईयर का सेमेस्टर 1 का मटेरियल अवेलेबल रहेगा, बाकी सब सब्जेक्टिव फॉर्म में रहेगा. तो इस बात का ध्यान जरूर रखें. तो MCQs प्रैक्टिस करने की जरूरत है, उसके लिए you need to tap the right kind of avenues. Okay, as I said on SWS we have that. So पिछले 5 साल that should be more than enough. You look at the question paper so that you get enough material and you also understand कि किस तरह से question पूछे जाते हैं. And geography में I can tell you many times the questions are also repeated. Okay, so you would be able to get a fair idea about the way and the kind of questions that are asked as far as geography is concerned. I hope this video helped you. लग जाओ. मेरा मानना है कि ज्योग्राफी पूरा सिलेबस खत्म करने में अगर आप दिन में 2.5-3 घंटा लगाते हैं ज्योग्राफी को, एक मुहिम की तरह लग जाए कि मैं खत्म कर दूंगा, सो आई डोंट थिंक इट शुड टेक मोर देन 11 days. 9 days each chapter, 9 days, 1 day map marking, 1 day topo sheet. Okay, or make it 2 days of topo sheet. So not more than 12 days for a good solid reading, studying and revision of the entire syllabus as far as geography is concerned. Okay, thank you very much. 80 on 80 is definitely a possibility as far as geography is concerned. Remember that. Aim for that. Bye bye.